You know, one of the most powerful forces in your life isn't love, it isn't money, and it isn't talent, it's doubt. Doubt has shaped more destinies than any other emotion, and yet most people run from it. They hear someone say, "You're not good enough," and they shrink. They face rejection once, and they stop trying. But the people who rise, the ones who leave a mark, are the ones who learn how to use doubt instead of being crushed by it. They don't let it break them, they let it build them. Think about it, every single person who's ever done something extraordinary was told they couldn't. Every innovator, every champion, every leader had someone in their ear telling them they were dreaming too big, aiming too high, stepping too far out of their lane. And here's the thing, they probably were. That's why they stood out. That's why they created something that never existed before. The difference wasn't that they had fewer doubters. The difference was what they did with that doubt. Most people internalize negativity. Someone says, "You're not cut out for this," and they start questioning themselves. They repeat that phrase in their heads until it becomes their belief. But that's a choice. And you don't have to make it. You can choose a different interpretation. When someone doubts you, they're not predicting your future. They're exposing the limits of their imagination. They're telling you more about their mindset than about your potential. Once you understand that, doubt loses its power over you. It stops being a chain and starts being fuel. Here's the psychological truth: the human mind is wired to seek significance. We crave proof, proof that we matter, proof that we're capable, proof that we can overcome. And few things ignite that drive more intensely than being underestimated. When someone says you can't, what they're really doing is handing you the ultimate motivator, a challenge. They're daring you to rise. And if you're wise, you'll accept that dare. But using doubt as fuel doesn't mean becoming bitter or obsessed with proving people wrong out of anger. That burns out fast. It's about alchemizing that emotion, taking the sting of rejection, the frustration of being overlooked, and converting it into disciplined action. It's waking up earlier. It's learning more deeply. It's refusing to quit when it's inconvenient. It's not about shouting back at the critics. It's about building something so undeniable that they can't ignore you anymore. I'll tell you something I've learned: people's opinions don't define your destiny. Your decisions do. And the most important decision you'll ever make is how you respond to doubt. You can let it diminish you, or you can let it drive you. You can treat it like an obstacle, or you can treat it like an invitation to rise higher. Every time you choose the latter, you build something far more powerful than success. You build resilience. And resilience is the foundation of every dream that's ever come true. So when someone underestimates you, don't get angry. Get focused. Don't seek revenge, seek growth. Let their words echo in your mind not as a wound, but as a war cry. Let them remind you of the standard you're committed to reaching. Because nothing is more satisfying than becoming the version of yourself that they swore you'd never be. In the end, doubt is not your enemy. It's the spark that lights the fire inside you. It's the pressure that forges your strength. And if you harness it right, the very people who said you couldn't will become the ones telling the story of how you did. If doubt is the spark that ignites your fire, then belief is the oxygen that keeps it burning. And I'm not talking about some shallow feel-good mantra. I'm talking about the kind of belief that becomes the foundation you stand on when everything else is shaking. Because here's the truth: no matter how much talent you have, no matter how much potential is inside you, if you don't believe in yourself at a core level, none of it will ever see the light of day. The world doesn't hand over its opportunities to the most talented, it hands them to the most convinced. You see, self-belief isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And most people never build it because they're waiting for someone else to hand it to them. They wait for validation, for permission, for a sign that they're worthy. But the most powerful people in the world didn't wait. They decided that their voice mattered, that their vision was real, and that they would keep going even when no one clapped for them. They believed long before anyone else did, and that's exactly why the world eventually believed too. Now here's the deeper psychology behind it: your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your reality. If deep down you believe you're not good enough, you'll hesitate, you'll self-sabotage, you'll pull back right before the breakthrough. But if you believe, truly believe, that you are capable, worthy, and destined for more, you'll act like it. You'll take risks, you'll persist when others quit. You'll see opportunities where others see dead ends. And over time, those behaviors compound into results. That's why belief is not just a mindset, it's a strategy. But let's get real. Belief is not built in a day. It's forged through repetition. Every promise you keep to yourself, every challenge you push through, every goal you crush, those moments are bricks in the foundation of your confidence. That's why discipline is so powerful. It's not just about habits, it's about evidence. Every time you do what you said you would do, you're collecting proof that you can trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, no one else's doubt can shake you. There's also a deeper philosophical truth here. Belief is not about ignoring your flaws. It's about refusing to be defined by them. People think self-belief means pretending you're perfect. It doesn't. It means acknowledging where you're weak and still choosing to move forward. It's standing in the middle of your imperfections and saying, I'm still worthy. I'm still capable. I'm still going. That's real strength. That's the kind of belief that moves mountains. And remember this, no one else's belief in you matters until you believe in yourself first. Because people mirror the energy you bring. If you walk into a room uncertain of your worth, the world will treat you like you're uncertain. But if you carry yourself with conviction, not arrogance, but quiet certainty, doors open, opportunities appear. People follow confidence, not potential. So stop waiting for permission. Stop asking the world to validate what you already know deep down. Believe so deeply in your vision that you're willing to be the only one who sees it for as long as it takes. Because once you've built that inner certainty, the rest of the journey is just execution. And here's the paradox: when you stop needing others to believe in you, that's when they finally will. Because self-belief is magnetic. It attracts trust, it inspires action, and it commands respect. It's the difference between a dream that dies in your head and a legacy that lives in the world. There's a point in your journey where words stop mattering, where explaining yourself, defending your dreams, or convincing people of your potential becomes pointless. Because in the end, no argument is more powerful than proof. People can debate your ideas, they can doubt your intentions, they can mock your ambition, but they cannot argue with results. Results are undeniable. Results silence critics. Results shift perceptions. And if you want to prove them wrong, your mission is to let your results do the talking. We live in a world where everyone has an opinion, where judgment is cheap and constant. But the truth is, opinions don't build empires. Opinions don't change lives. Action does. Execution does. Consistency does. That's why you have to stop wasting your energy trying to explain your worth and start investing that energy into building something that reflects it. Your results should become the loudest voice in the room, louder than your critics, louder than your insecurities, louder than your fears. Think about the people who've changed the world. They weren't the ones arguing with their doubters on social media. They weren't spending time trying to prove their intelligence in debates. They were in the arena, putting in the hours, building, creating, innovating. And eventually their work spoke for itself, because success has a way of silencing doubt. When the vision becomes reality, when the dream becomes tangible, the same people who laughed at you will be quoting you. There's a psychological shift that happens when you focus on results over rhetoric. You stop living for validation and start living for impact. You stop being reactive to what others think and become proactive about what you're building. And that's when your power multiplies. Because every result you create becomes a piece of evidence, not just for the world, but for yourself. It's proof that you're capable, proof that the vision in your head can exist in reality, proof that their words were never the final word. But results don't come from wishful thinking. They come from relentless execution. The kind of consistency most people aren't willing to commit to. It's waking up and showing up even when it's hard. It's refining your craft when no one's watching. It's doing the work today that your future self will thank you for. Results require obsession, not just interest. And they require patience, because building something undeniable takes time. Most people quit before the results arrive, not because they can't succeed, but because they want validation faster than reality can deliver it. Here's the deeper truth. Results don't just change how others see you. They change how you see yourself. Every time you achieve something you once thought was out of reach, you expand your own belief system. You raise the standard for what's possible. And when that happens, proving others wrong stops being your main motivation. It becomes a side effect. The real reward is proving yourself right, proving that you were always capable even when others didn't see it. So stop explaining your plan and start executing it. Stop telling people what you're going to do and just do it. Let your results become your argument. Because the same people who questioned you will have no choice but to respect you when your work speaks louder than their doubt. And more importantly, you'll respect yourself more, not for what they think of you, but for who you became in the process. Never forget this: the most powerful response to disbelief is undeniable achievement. When your results speak, even the loudest critics go silent. There's a shift that happens on this journey, and it's one that separates those who simply silence their critics from those who truly transcend them. In the beginning, proving people wrong can be the spark. It's the thing that gets you out of bed early, that pushes you to go harder, that keeps you moving when quitting seems easier. But if you stay in that mindset forever, you trap yourself in a life still controlled by their opinions. The real evolution is when you stop doing it for them and start doing it for you. Because the ultimate victory isn't revenge, it's growth. It's becoming someone so powerful, so fulfilled, that their words no longer matter. Think about it. If everything you build is just a reaction to someone else's doubt, then in a way, they're still writing your story. They're still in control of your direction. That's not freedom. That's dependency. And you weren't born to live a life dictated by other people's limited beliefs. You were born to create on your terms. At some point, you have to stop chasing validation and start chasing evolution. The point isn't to rub your success in anyone's face. It's to become someone who doesn't need to. This is where emotional maturity enters the picture, because proving them wrong at a surface level is about external wins. The money, the status, the recognition. But proving yourself right is about internal transformation. The resilience you built, the wisdom you gained, the purpose you discovered. That's the deeper game. That's the one that changes not just your circumstances, but you. And when you play that game, the opinions that once haunted you become irrelevant background noise. There's a profound psychological freedom that comes from not needing to prove anything anymore. When you stop trying to earn respect from the people who doubted you, you redirect all that energy inward, into mastering your craft, deepening your character, and building a life that fulfills you, not anyone else's expectations. Ironically, it's usually at that point, when you no longer care about proving them wrong, that you rise so far above their judgments they can't even reach you. And here's the deeper truth: your success was never supposed to be about them. They were just the resistance that helped you grow stronger. They were the weights in the gym that built your muscle. But the growth itself, that was always about you. It was about discovering what you're truly capable of, about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to shout about their worth, because they live it every single day. This is why the greatest revenge isn't success. It's peace. It's waking up in the morning with a life you love, a purpose you believe in, and a self you're proud of, regardless of what anyone else thinks. That's the kind of victory no critic can take from you. It's not loud, but it's powerful. It's not about proving a point. It's about embodying your truth. So as you rise, remember why you started, but also recognize when it's time to evolve beyond that. Let the doubters be the spark, but don't let them be the destination. Your journey is so much bigger than their opinions. The most beautiful part of proving them wrong is realizing, eventually, that you no longer need to. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about them watching you win. It's about you becoming someone who would have won whether they watched or not.